SEAL and fitness expert Mark Devine trains everyone from Fortune 100 leaders to Olympians and pro athletes on how to get fit. An important part of his training includes nutrition. He tells his clients to go caveman, which he talks about in detail in his New York Times bestseller, 8 Weeks to SEAL Fit. Mark joins us now to share his many tips and tricks to healthy eating. Thank you for stopping by the studio, Mark.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, first, I want to know about your book.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations, a New York Times bestseller, 8 Weeks to SEAL Fit, and also what you mean by going caveman.
Well, SEALs are basically cavemen with a lot of high-tech weaponry and gadgetry. So we've learned to really eat in a way that's going to fuel your body through all that intense activity. Lots of training, lots of time, running up mountains, and just you're always busy. So what I teach people in this is to go back to our roots and to eat really close to the earth, eat really high quality foods, stay away from packaged junk, stay away from anything with a barcode on it, anything that has a lot of sugar in it, and to really go kind of what we call paleo. So it has a lot of...
Yeah, so I was going to say it's very similar to the paleo diet.
It's similar. So paleo is a diet. We really don't prescribe to diets per se because they're rigid, and SEALs are very flexible, and we need to be flexible and adaptable to our environment. So if you have to stick to a rigid diet, it falls apart when you, even if you go home for a holiday, right? It falls apart. If you go out into the field or if you go on a deployment. And so what we've noticed with our athletes is if we just teach them how to fuel their body properly, eating the right types of food, you don't have to worry about a diet and everything starts to come in line.
Do you worry about portion control?
Portion control is not as important with us, so we're doing a lot of work. And so again, the diet or the nutrition plan really is designed for active people who are physically, functionally working a lot. So industrial athletes, spec ops candidates, anyone training in like CrossFit or SEAL Fit. So if you're burning a lot, you don't have to worry about your portion sizes that much.
Right, it's your body, you got your metabolism.
It's about the quality of the food you put in your body, not the quantity.
So it's clean eating.
Yes,
so
lots of organic. If you're going to eat, if you're a meat eater, which most of us are, then high quality organic, grass-fed or free-range chicken and beef or fish. And then just a lot of vegetables, a lot more vegetables than most people are willing to eat.
Like what is your serving size and how much a day of vegetables? Assuming they're organic.
Nobody eats enough vegetables, so you could eat as much salad and much vegetables as you possibly can. And that's where you're going to get all your nice nutrients and your vitamins and the phytonutrients and whatnot. And then you're going to get most of your protein and fat from the meat that you eat and from from oils like olive oil and coconut oil and walnuts and nuts and berries and stuff like that. And so, but you want to get your carbohydrates primarily from the vegetables that you eat, and then you can support it with some grains like quinoa, which are not processed. Again, it's the processing of the grain, especially with wheat and bread and pasta, that really makes those food items pretty nasty for us.
What about white rice? Would you consider that?
White rice is to be avoided. I mean, on occasion, we have this thing called the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time, we want to eat as high quality as we can. 20% of the time, don't worry about it. Have a pizza or have rice and beans. It's not a big deal. And that,
right? I like that you give some flexibility there, so you can still live. You don't feel like you're shackled to some diet.
Even the caveman was flexible. I mean, they would have eaten a popsicle if you gave one.
Of course.
They probably didn't have them back then.
So you're training these special ops candidates. Explain that.
Okay, so SEAL Fit is our program, and we're in Encinitas, California. So we have folks come from around the world who train with us to get ready for whatever it is, their biggest challenge of their life. For SEALs, it's going through BUDS, SEAL training. So with those guys, and plus the brand, obviously as a former SEAL, I know how to train those guys. We train physically, mentally, emotionally, and even what I call your warrior spirit. And we have a 90% success rate getting these guys through the SEAL training pipeline. So it's pretty effective.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And not only that, you're training, again, Olympians, pro athletes, and anybody.
It's really open to anyone who's willing to do the work. It's not easy training, but
in closing, what should we just absolutely stay away from?
Start out by eliminating sugar. Okay, eliminate sugar.
All processed sugar.
All processed sugar. Okay. Later on, you can reintroduce, honey and other things that are more natural sweeteners, and then begin eliminating the processed food, anything that comes in a barcode. So if you go shopping, stay at the outside of the shopping center and just get as many vegetables and high quality foods, nothing with a barcode. It takes a little change of your behavior, but once you develop the habit to shop that way and to eat that way, then it's a lot of fun.
What if you're a vegetarian? Do you have
vegetarians? Fine. You just it's hard. It's difficult to get enough protein, so you really need to rely on fat as a vegetarian. So you need to have much more fat in your diet than you would typically expect. Like 50 to 60% of your diet should be fat if you're a vegetarian. That's going to give you all that fuel. Fat has an enormous amount of fuel compared to a carbohydrate.
Your program's going to get you lean and fit, and it's probably going to prolong your life, huh? Quality of life.
Probably, yeah. It's prolonged mine. I'm 65 years old.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you so much. Great
Nice to
tips.
meet you.
Great tips. Thank you.